Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of FPL live streams. I hope you're all having a good week and looking forward to game week 12, which starts tomorrow. Um, so, tomorrow. So, don't forget that it is a Friday night deadline. So, it is 24 hours exactly now until the deadline. So, make sure your teams are as you want them and you're making all your final decisions now. So go straight in and start firing in any questions that you have. I have a few things to talk about, but any questions that you guys have, fire away. Yes, the live is happening. Sorry, I was slightly busy. I got a phone call just as I clicked go live, so it was a slight delay, but I'm here now. Sorry about that. Thanks. I really like it. I had it designed by someone on Twitter, the new design. Really happy with it. Hopefully it looks a bit more professional, so people might be drawn in a little bit more, get a few more viewers and things in here. But that's the aim anyway. So yeah. Yeah, sure. You sent me your team earlier. It's quite hard for me to show anyone, but this is the team. Guendouzi, Ayew, Cantwell, all three are not players that I'd particularly go for, and I wouldn't start double Sheffield United defence this game week. I'd rather start Cantwell over O'Connell. Cantwell for O'Connell, and then I suppose you play Guendouzi, but I would definitely look at upgrading one of Guendouzi or Cantwell because for me that team isn't quite strong enough. I hope with that you've got some money in the bank. It looks like you probably will, so that's where I'd put it, upgrading one of those two. So is Troy Deeney an option back from injury? Norwich away. He could come straight back into the starting 11 considering there's lack of goals. So in my differential article for FPL updates, I had Gerard De La Feu as one of my differentials. Now, he's taken an awful lot of shots that just haven't been converted, and he has like the highest number of shots to have not scored in the past 2 weeks or something like that. So I definitely think the potential for Watford to get goals is there. So Troy Deeney isn't that crazy a pick. And I would expect him to come back into the lineup due to the lack of goals and their poor performances. Just looking at his price now. So he is Watford. So he costs only 6.2. 6.2 is a good price for a differential, although I'd rather go for De La Feu because he's more certain to start this week because Deeney has only just come back. What's happening with Callum Hudson-Odoi? Is he due to start this weekend? I find that one quite hard to judge, especially... Well, he didn't start midweek actually, so that could be both a positive and negative for him because it means he's not in the Chelsea necessarily first team, but the others played more minutes to him. He did look good when he came on, and I wonder if Mason Mount is not fit, whether all three of Willian, Pulisic and Hudson-Odoi will play. So again, I'd wait and look on the Mount injury. I personally wouldn't be wanting to keep Mount long term. Mount long term for me is a slight worry, even as a Chelsea fan. Hudson-Odoi long term even, because we know he's not first choice now. If you want to take the risk with Hudson-Odoi this weekend, then okay, but he's not a long-term pick, especially with City next week. And I'm not a huge fan of Mount long-term. With Ruben Loftus-Cheek coming back for us, it's limited. His team time in the team there will be He'll be rotated with Loftus-Cheek, and we can't just suddenly put Kovacic on the bench straight away when Kante comes back. But then, is he really going to bench one of Kovacic, Kante, or Jorginho every week? I think unlikely. So then Mount's position then becomes under more threat. So I worry slightly going forward that Mount, his minutes will be rotated more. He'll be in the first team, but with the amount of options we have going into the Christmas break, we're going into the Christmas period with so many fixtures that Mount won't be playing every week. It's just my opinion. But your plan is to upgrade Ayew to Jimenez and then Guendouzi or Cantwell to Mount or McGinn. It depends when you want them. I'd probably go McGinn in about 4 game weeks time when their fixtures become really good, and I will definitely be looking at McGinn for this. You have Pereira, Lundstrom, Williams, Rico. Who is the best fifth defender? I still think you need a Liverpool defender for this run, and I know it would be really difficult for you to bench one of them, the 4 you've already got. So I wonder if but I do think you need a Trent or a Robertson in your side at the moment. For me, the defence at the moment that is becoming template is Trent, Lundstrom, or Trent/Robertson, Lundstrom, Rico, a lesser defender, probably Soyuncu because you're not going to play him every week, but one of the others is fine. And then it depends if you're playing 3 or 4 at the back. If you've got 4 at the back, then people are going for Newcastle defenders, their 5th. If not, then just a bench fodder like I've got. So, worried about no Leicester assets? Yes, I am. I'm very concerned. But I want to give Martial another week. Martial to Maddison is a move, but I brought Martial in this week and he blanked, and I'm not going to take him out straight away. I have also made my transfer already, so I don't want to take a hit for that either. So that late game will just have to be a painful one for me. My rank will plummet, but yeah, I'm not looking forward to that Leicester game, but I don't have a way of getting them in at the moment. Why did I decide on Jimenez captain? Now my captain is still to be decided. Jimenez was my bust captain. Mane, Salah, Martial, Jimenez are my 4 options. I'm not going for a Chelsea asset because if Mount is injured and Jorginho are suspended and we're playing Crystal Palace at home, who are always good away and very solid defensively, I just don't see him getting that much. So I'm going for one of my players that plays on Sunday, and it's not De Bruyne because Liverpool away, I don't fancy that. So then that leaves Mane, Salah, Jimenez, Martial, and I really don't know which it is. And Martial and Jimenez both start tonight for their clubs in the Europa League, which I am not a fan of at all. So that might make up this. If they both play 90 minutes, then I could well put it on Salah or Mane. And I have a rule now that I've got Salah and Mane, is that captain Salah at home, Mane away. I'm not going to double guess. I'm going to set a rule now when owning both of them. Salah performs better at home, Mane performs better away, and that's happened for a long period of time. So that is my rule, and I won't change it. Salah at home, Mane away, and that's how I'll do my captain. So yeah, my transfer this week was Raheem Sterling to Sadio Mane. Sterling for me has just been frustrating. He scored again in the Champions League, and I sort of laughed when it happened because I'd already sold him. I thought, this is what I get every week that I've had him. He scores the Champions League and then blanks at the weekend. And I just thought, I'm not doing this for the rest of the season. So I brought Mane in. Mane's on great form. And Mane Salah will probably play over the Christmas break 7 of the 8 games. And Sterling will probably play 6 of the 8 games. It's not a major difference, but it is a difference. So, and the run of fixtures is easier. I know City should be fixture proof, but it doesn't mean that Liverpool don't have a high ceiling. So yeah, Salah Mane double up for me moving forward, and just De Bruyne for Man City. What about Pulisic long term? So I do think he's a good option long term. I think Lampard was easing him into the lineup, so I do think he's our first choice winger, and he has looked really good. But again, over that Christmas period with so many players, he won't be playing every game. So if you get him, make sure you've got a strong bench. Is Hudson-Odoi to Trossard an option then? Also have the problem of David Silva in my squad and what to do with him. Well, again, wait on the press conferences tomorrow, but I think David Silva is less likely to play this weekend and we might get a longer term. David Silva is likely to be back after the international break, whereas Hudson-Odoi will always be a rotation risk. So it sort of depends on what you need and when you need it. Now, Trossard is a player I absolutely love, and his price is great, but his fixtures are not. Leicester, Liverpool, Arsenal in the next 3, I would just not be looking to bring him in. I think you could take a 3-week punt on someone else and then bring him in when he has maybe Wolves, Palace, Sheffield United again, 3 difficult fixtures. So for me, I wouldn't be looking at Trossard. I think there are better players with better fixtures at his price. Hey Penguin, nice to see you in. Thoughts on Mount injury? Will he miss a Saturday game? Well, he trained this morning. We'll get an update tomorrow from Lampard on what is going on. I personally think if he's fit, he'll play because we don't have Jorginho. So I think if he's fit, he'll start because we know he won't play minutes over the international break and he'll rest him then. But wait on the press conference tomorrow. Mane for a differential captain, for sure. Ederson is likely to play. I imagine Ederson will play. But their defence has looked shaky, and I imagine Liverpool will score at least twice at the weekend. So he definitely is a captain option. And people should not be put off. Don't be put off by the fixture. I see those Liverpool assets doing something. Lundstrom is a fear pick in the 11. It's sort of a cross between a fear pick and he's undroppable. Because of the positions he get in, he can score against anyone. And Spurs have not looked good defensively, so he could easily be involved. But then it is the sort of fear pick. I am currently leaving Soyuncu on the bench, which is again another sort of fear factor thing. When Leicester could easily get a clean sheet. I've left a clean sheet on my bench for the past couple of weeks, so yeah. Which Leicester asset would I get in as my team is set up as it is? So as you can see, there is practically no way that I can get Jamie Vardy into my team. Practically impossible without a -4 because I'm not selling Jimenez and I'm not selling Abraham. It's just not happening. Their fixtures are great at the moment and they're playing well. It's not happening. So I then look to their midfielders. Now, the 2 players, while I was at work, I was thinking about this. The two players in my midfield and attack that I would consider changing is Martial and Mason Mount. And Martial would let me get Maddison into my team, and Mason Mount would not, and he would let me get Tielemans or one of the cheaper Barnes or Perez into my team. Now, again, it's quite tough to see which I'll go for, and it might depend on who blanks this weekend, but that could easily be my transfer over the international break. But that would be where I got a Leicester City asset. It would be in for Martial or in for Mount, I think. The only other players that I'm potentially looking to transfer in my team, Martial, Mount, Pope, because he's not been great, but I don't want to use a transfer on him really unless I have 2 free. And then upgrading a Johnson probably, or upgrading Greenwood to Connolly, but Brighton's fixtures aren't great, so I think I'd rather go spend that 0.3 on upgrading Johnson to someone. But yeah, so if I get 0.3 spare, then it will go on either Johnson upgrade or Greenwood upgrade. But Greenwood gets points, but Johnson gets none. So for me, Johnson to a 4.3 or 4.4 defender would do so much for my bench. So you have Hudson-Odoi in your team and 2-1. Shall I swap him for Pulisic? So I just want to have a look at how much that leaves you with. So Hudson-Odoi, about what, 6, isn't he? Hudson-Odoi 6. That would leave you with 8 million in the bank. If you don't have Maddison, I'd go Maddison over the Chelsea assets. Yeah, I'd go Maddison before a Chelsea winger, but I prefer Pulisic to Hudson-Odoi now. Martial, I wouldn't be buying. I know there was a lot of talk, and I fell through all the talk. Richarlison as a differential with Southampton, Norwich in their next 2, but then they play Leicester, Liverpool, Chelsea, United, Arsenal in a row. So, yeah, I'd go Pulisic if you don't have enough or you already have Maddison, but if not, then Maddison 100%. Recommendation on to play Ayew in attack or Cantwell in midfield this week. Chelsea seem to concede, but I'd wait and hear the press conferences tomorrow to see if Cantwell's going to start, because I really feel like Norwich might turn up this week. I know we've said that for a while, but I'd go with Cantwell if we think he's going to start. Yes, Josh, I would go Maddison. He just looks so good. He looks so great. Is Mount still the best, or does Pulisic look better? Is he nailed? I find the Chelsea mid really hard. Mount and Pulisic are both in our starting lineups. Now, over the Christmas break, we will rotate. We'll have to. Hudson-Odoi will want minutes. Willian will want minutes. Pedro will get minutes. Then Loftus-Cheek is coming back. He'll want minutes. Mount gets minutes. And Barkley will probably play some as well. Kovacic as well. I find it so hard to call who plays in this midfield. I find it really tough. I'd probably stick with Mount over Pulisic. But then Pulisic is cheaper. This is really tough, and watching them play, they're literally the same price. Pulisic is just slightly more. I'm surprised by that, actually. Then, I would probably go Mount over Pulisic because of the price, but that's fine. That really hard. Prediction: Newcastle-Bournemouth game. Well, both teams to score, obviously. It will be the most FPL thing to happen all season, even more than that Norwich game or whatever it was. Norwich-Bournemouth, where that ended 0-0. Bournemouth haven't conceded in 3. Newcastle haven't conceded in 3 or something like that. What's the stat? Newcastle. Oh. That's a lie. But Bournemouth haven't conceded in their last 3. Now playing Newcastle. Both teams to score, for sure. So I'm playing Rico, but I fully expect him to concede. Any news on Rudiger, Kante, Emerson? So Emerson is back, and I expect him to play the weekend. Kante is also back, and I highly expect he'll play the weekend. Rudiger is not back, so I don't really expect him to play the weekend. So yeah, I'd say Rudiger's probably the one. Rudiger's probably the one that I will think won't start. Yeah. Out of those 3, Rudiger I don't think's quite ready. One sec. Just retweeting the tweet again. What do you think of Abraham with Batshuayi scoring? How nailed is Abraham? Abraham is nailed as nailed can be, right? Do not worry about minutes for Tammy Abraham, especially over Batshuayi and Giroud, right? Batshuayi scores big goals. He does it professionally. He's a professional big goal scorer, basically. But he's not going to play week in, week out. He's not going to start games. He might start one game over the Christmas period to give Abraham that rest. But Abraham plays Champions League. He plays the league. Then he'll play Champions League. Then he'll play the league. Abraham is a machine. I can see Abraham playing every game over Christmas and playing 60 minutes in every game. Or 70 minutes in every game. And taking him off to rest him like that, but not wanting to bench him. Abraham will start at least. He'll be benched for me in a maximum of one game over this Christmas period. So one game for me. So he's definitely the number one Chelsea option for sure. And I don't know why you don't own him if you don't. His price has gone up so much. Only reason I'm selling Abraham is if he gets injured. Top 4 side, their striker cost me 7.2 million. Easiest decision that I'll ever make is keeping Tammy Abraham. Which game week? So I'll go through which game week do I think will have the surprise score? Well, it depends what you think a surprise score. I think United Brighton, but then is that going to be a surprise score? I could see Brighton getting a result then. Tottenham Sheffield United. Sheffield United look great, but I expect Spurs to win. Norwich Watford. Norwich to turn up. Chelsea Palace. I don't want to comment. Burnley West Ham is two teams a bit like Norwich Watford. Two teams who don't seem to want to win. They want to let their opponents win. And so that game, I have no idea what's going to happen in that. That's probably the surprise score. Southampton Everton again. Two teams that don't particularly want to win. I find it, yeah, so I'd go Norwich win, and then I'd favour Burnley win because they're at home. Southampton haven't looked good. Everton win. Tottenham win, Leicester win, Brighton win, Wolves win, Liverpool win. Is Chilwell worth the extra or Soyuncu still worth it? So what is Chilwell now? 5.5. Sorry. How much is Chilwell? 5.5 now. 5.6. Wow. So he's 0.8 million more than Soyuncu. I find again it's hard. If you've got the spare cash, I think Chilwell will continue to give attacking returns, and he is a good pick this season. So if you're going to play them every week, Chilwell. If you don't want to have to play them every single week, then Soyuncu. So for me in my setup with 3 defenders rotating to 2 spots, then Soyuncu's fine for me, and I need that money elsewhere. Yeah, but if I had someone I wasn't as confident in as Rico, for example, then I might want Chilwell. But Soyuncu is a great option. Differential pick for next game week. Sadly, I can't really tell you that as I write articles for FPL updates, so check them out on Twitter. And that will be going live tomorrow morning, my differential articles, so you'll have to wait for them. Good evening, Derek. I'm literally putting a tweet out this evening with a thread on on captaincy picks, and Deulofeu isn't one of them, but he was highly considered, and he may be in that article that I write, which is coming out on Friday morning. So make sure you guys check that out when it does come out. Yeah, so any more questions that you guys would like answering? Because not too long until the United. I think I'm going to watch United over Wolves. What, United over Wolves tonight? Who are you guys going to be watching? But yeah, guys, I want to say a big thank you. The support on here and on my YouTube has been incredible. Up to 217 subscribers. I know it's not loads, but it really mean a lot. It means a lot. You guys coming to keep watching me, and hopefully that number will keep going up and up and up every week, and eventually we'll um, get some more people in here, and it will be a real buzz. But you guys, I'll remember the names that were here when I started, if this ever really gets going. But yeah, guys, thank you all so much for all the continued support. And always, if you can share my page, YouTube and Twitter to your friends and things like that, always happy to help as many people as want it. So yeah, guys, thanks a lot for all of the help. I really appreciate it. We'll be doing a Christmas giveaway. I'll be doing a Christmas giveaway on Twitter. I'll be doing a Christmas giveaway on Instagram, and I'll be doing a Christmas giveaway on YouTube. And now I will not post on Twitter saying there is a giveaway on YouTube and Instagram, because I want it to be for people who only watch me on that platform. So I don't want someone who's never watched me before to come and be able to enter. So yeah, there will be Christmas giveaways on each platform for you. So yeah, that is yeah, so there will be things coming up for you over Christmas to say a big thank you. Thoughts on Doherty in your lineup for game week 12? For sure. Plays tonight, but so does Adama. I expect him to start at the weekend. Doherty for sure is a great pick. I really like him. Fixtures are good, and we know what he can do. His price is a bit much for me, but he's a very strong differential. Loves an attack and return. Loves it. But yeah, guys, if that's all that you've got. Oh, I haven't even showed you my team from last week. Let me. Here we go. So I scored 74 points last week. Absolutely buzzing. Loved it. 74 points, up to a 400k green arrow from 1.1 million to 700k. My midfield, which costs 45 million, returned just 9 points. 8 if you don't include the Sterling captain. 21 from Lundstrom, 14 Soyuncu, 7 from Trent, 9 from Jimenez, and 12 from Abraham. Tam, bam, Abraham. No, you're not getting a shout out. So yeah, a really strong week, and I hope that I can continue it into this week. I sort of want to just hold my rank this week. I'm not overly keen on my team this week, I suppose, with the City fixture and not owning Leicester assets. But hopefully, I've never thought in my life I'd support Arsenal, but here we go. Hopefully they can do something on Leicester this weekend. Because which is Chelsea's rival and which is causing me problems in FPL is Leicester at the moment. So yeah, but definitely so happy with that. So happy going forward. Sterling out. I'm fed up with him. He may score a hat-trick this weekend, and it'll make me laugh. I'll still be happy I sold him. I can't deal with that anymore. But yeah, guys. I guess I'll say thank you to you all for coming in. You left Soy on the bench last week for Ayew, not happening again. Yeah, I probably wouldn't leave him on your bench again, but I kind of have to because I want to play Lundstrom over him. Is Son worth holding for the weekend? If you've got him, hold him for sure. I expect Spurs to score, but Lundstrom has attacking potential. That's why I'm playing him. But yeah, definitely. Did he start? Yeah, he did, but he got hauled off on the 75th minute or something. So for me, he should start the weekend. That's not a problem. So yeah, definitely keep Son. But as always, guys, over on Instagram at FPLTIPS_, had to have the underscore at the end because someone stole mine. On Twitter, as you probably all know, at FPLTIPS. And yeah, I'm always on there. A thread coming out this evening for you all. Make sure you follow me there, like my page, retweet my page. Really is appreciated. The support is incredible. But yeah, thank you all, guys, and I will see you next week, next Thursday, same place, same time. Good luck with your game weeks, guys, and let me know how it goes on Twitter or in the comments down below. Comment, like, and subscribe. Thanks, guys.